The Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War was one of the most devastating conflicts of the 20th century. Lasting from 1936 to 1939, it was not just a battle for power. It was a war that divided families, ideologies, and an entire nation. Today, we take an in-depth look at the causes, key events, and lasting impact of the Spanish Civil War. To understand the Spanish Civil War, we must first look at Spain's turbulent history. For centuries, Spain was ruled by a monarchy. But in 1931, King Alfonso XIII was forced into exile, and Spain became a republic. The new government introduced reforms: land redistribution, secular education, and labor rights. However, not everyone supported these changes. Landowners, the Catholic Church, and the military opposed them, seeing the reforms as a threat to traditional Spain. On the other side, socialist and communist groups wanted even more radical changes, while anarchists sought to abolish the state altogether. Tensions between conservatives and leftists grew, leading to political violence and assassinations. The outbreak of war. In July 1936, a group of right-wing generals led by Francisco Franco launched a military coup against the Republican government. What was meant to be a quick takeover turned into a full-scale civil war. Spain was now split in two: the Republicans, who supported the democratic government, and the nationalists led by Franco, who wanted a military dictatorship. Both sides would receive foreign support, turning Spain into a battleground for international ideologies. The involvement of foreign powers. The Spanish Civil War was not just a national conflict. Foreign powers quickly got involved. Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy backed Franco, sending troops, planes, and weapons. Their infamous Condor Legion bombed cities like Guernica, killing thousands. On the Republican side, the Soviet Union sent weapons and military advisors. Thousands of volunteers from Europe and the US, known as the International Brigades, also joined the fight. However, their support was limited compared to the resources Franco received. Key battles and turning points. Some of the bloodiest battles of the war took place in Madrid, which resisted nationalist attacks for years. The Republicans fought bravely but were outmatched. In 1937, the nationalists captured the Basque Country and bombed Guernica, an attack later immortalized by Pablo Picasso's famous painting. One of the last major Republican offensives was the Battle of the Ebro in 1938. It was a desperate attempt to turn the tide, but Franco's forces crushed the attack, sealing the Republic's fate. The fall of the Republic. By early 1939, the Republicans were losing ground. Franco's army captured Barcelona in January, and by March, Madrid fell without resistance. On April 1, 1939, Franco declared victory, marking the end of the Spanish Civil War. Aftermath and consequences. The war left Spain in ruins. 500,000 people died, cities were destroyed, and political executions became common. Franco established a dictatorship that lasted until his death in 1975. Thousands of Republicans were imprisoned, executed, or forced into exile. Meanwhile, the international community turned its attention to World War II, which began just months later. Spain, though neutral, remained under Franco's rule, isolated from much of the world. The legacy of the Spanish Civil War. The scars of the Spanish Civil War remain. Even today, debates continue over how to remember this dark chapter. Mass graves are still being uncovered, and political divisions from the war linger in Spanish society. The Spanish Civil War was more than just a fight for power. It was a battle of ideologies, a tragedy that shaped Spain's future, and a lesson on the dangers of division and extremism.